Welcome to episode 6 of Thabo and Gugu Talk Life and Business podcast. And today we're going to be talking about the reasons why we chose a childminder over nursery in the UK.
Oh, yeah, that's a good topic. I'm Thabo.
And I'm Gugu.
Yeah, so that's a good topic. Interesting topic.
Interesting. Childcare in the UK is no child's play.
Yeah, I like that saying.
Yeah.
I mean, childcare is one of the most expensive things for parents.
In the
and
UK,
I mean, especially parents who are entrepreneurs as well. So juggling that business life and the parenthood life can be
quite
a challenge and
yeah.
also can be expensive. So, I mean, we're going to talk about our experience because
Yes.
we went the childminder route. And
Yes.
so obviously, just share our thoughts because we did debate whether it was nursery and whether it was childminder.
Yeah, so we did some extensive research on both, but at the end of the day, we drilled down to the childminder one based on our own personal experiences. So that's what we're going to go through and just sort of summarize the reasons why we ended up going down that route.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, to kick it off, in terms of, I think when I say the most expensive thing when it comes to this, is the cost, So what made us go through the childminder route compared to the nursery?
So the childminder works out, well, most of them, not all of them, because it's not like they all charge the same price. So on average, most childminders are more affordable than the nursery. So that's one big factor as to deciding where you end up taking your child. So, and also the other thing with that as well is they also offer siblings discounts. So at least if you've got more than one child and they're sort of not too far apart. So again, taking both of them or three of them to a childminder from a cost perspective works out more affordable.
No, that's true. So the childminder wins there in terms of I mean, on average, they're usually cheaper than nurseries.
The nurseries.
So
and also to add on to that, which also I didn't realize until later on, looking from the cost side of things. So we know that the nurseries get funded by the government once the child turns 3. So something I found out later on was a childminder also does get those funded hours if they do qualify. So just in case you're thinking, oh my gosh, what about when it gets to that funding age? Don't shy away from considering a childminder, but also take note, if you want to take advantage of the child funding, make sure that particular childminder qualifies to get it.
Okay, so we've got 2 kids, Nia, who's 10-3, and
Yes.
Unati, who's 2. So you're saying Nia is the only one who qualifies for that funding?
Yes, because she's 3 now, yes.
Okay.
But I know lately there's been some information where children below 3 are going to qualify for that, but I guess that's something that's still in process, isn't it?
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I mean, another reason why we chose the childminder was so on average, especially our childminder, there's more the staff. When it comes to staff and children ratio for the childminder, it's more it's lesser compared to nurseries.
Yes.
I know Ofsted have got rules around that. You can't have 5 kids, more than 5 kids compared to one staff, etc. But when it comes to the childminder, it's more like an intimate
yes.
The setting, and our childminder has got about 10 kids at one go.
But she's got an assistant
She's
as
got
well.
an assistant.
Because she can't do it alone.
So we which is good because when we're looking for this, we're looking for a setup where our kids will have other kids to play with, but not compared to nursery where it's in the classroom you can have 30 kids. They're not going to play with all those 30
Yes.
kids, but when it's a 10, even different age groups from 0 to 5, whatever the age groups, it's they all can play with all of them. They know each other's names and
Yes, and just get that personalized attention as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
personalized
they get to know each
attention,
other
yes,
better as
yes.
well.
And so that was one of the reasons. So when it comes to the ratios, I personally favor childminder.
The childminder, yes.
Yeah.
And the next one was the flexible hours that they offer. So again, because we are at the moment non-traditional working parents, so it works out better for us in terms of, for example, we started taking the kids swimming now on Mondays and Thursdays. So in the morning, one of them gets dropped off at the childminder, the other one goes swimming. So for us to have that flexibility really helps a lot to be able to do other things within those working hours of the children going to a childminder. Have
Yeah.
you got anything else to add on to that with the flexible hours?
No, the flexible hours are good. Like as you say, I mean, when it comes to flexible hours, my thoughts would be like maybe even nurseries will be like flexible like that. But like for us, for our childminder to actually accommodate it, so
Yes.
it just shows more of their flexibility.
The flexibility. And
yeah.
also to add on to that is they also, again, compared to a nursery, with our childminder, based on experience, is they do some weekend work. So again, once in a while at the weekend, especially on a Saturday when we need that extra help, the fact that she's available to have that's another bonus. Whereas a nursery, I don't think they work weekends, do they?
Nah, they don't. So once in a while, when you're shooting the podcast, yeah.
Wow. And many other things.
So yes, Google once sent the kids to her when she was shooting a podcast.
So you see, like every little helps, literally. Whereas if they were going to a nursery, then what are we going to do that weekend?
Yeah,
when
so
we don't help?
it also adds to that, like what we mentioned before, that personalized care, because yeah, she's very like, it's personal when it comes to Nia and Unati, how she takes care of them. So that's an added bonus when it comes to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So would you like to add anything else?
No, I think on that we're fine. But before we move on, I just want to say these podcast series, myself and Gugu too, are actually sponsored by our two businesses. So one of the businesses, we actually help people who want to start in property by doing the Airbnb model, which we currently do ourselves. So we've built a portfolio of worth £2 million, and we also lease properties from landlords. So with this coaching program, we actually help people to do the same thing. So it's called a 10-day Airbnb crash course. If you want to join this, the description, the link to join is in the description of this video. And the other one is called
Love Your Stays Limited, and this is our Airbnb business where we host short-term guests. And in addition to that, would like to work with other people who are interested in starting off the same thing already in the business and wanted to expand that portfolio. So if you're interested, feel free to let us know.
Yep. So yeah, that's every information is in the description. So let's carry on the conversation.
Yep.
So what are your thoughts on? I mean, like the childminder is more like a home away from home
setting, yes.
environment. So do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, so with that, the reason why we just thought, because the kids are still young, for us, they're like 2 and 3. So we just thought, whereas now, instead of them just being at home with us, they can start sort of slowly going into the outside world. So, but you don't want to like just put them in the deep end. So to slowly introduce them to the outside world, the childminder gives a home away from home feel where they're a bit more at ease, they get more comfortable. I feel like there's also a bit of stability in that sense, and it helps with their development.
Yeah.
And then also to add into that, the nursery, like how many of our friends and family have taken their kids to nursery and the sicknesses that come with it as well.
Yeah. No.
So you're paying so much money, but literally half the month the child is sick. What's the point?
No, true. I mean, obviously there is a reason why it's like that, because nursery settings are bigger, and
yes,
yeah, so it's easy to get an infection or for the flu to transfer from one person to another. For the bigger groups. Yeah, so in that aspect, yeah, the childminder is better. But I'm not saying when they go to a childminder, if another child is got like flu or they're not going to catch it, but it's like the
chances are low.
The chances are low.
Yeah. But so you also get your money's worth in other sense, isn't it?
Well, you just want to like shove Nia and Unati out, you know?
No, not at all. But I'm like, I wouldn't want them to go and then be sick more, because it's not nice to see your child being sick as well, is it?
No, it's not nice.
Besides the money side of things, it's like health is important. So if they're going to be falling sick every now and then it's not really nice as well.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, so when it comes to like, we also get like daily updates from our childminder. So I think those are really good, because they update you like what Nia and Unati were up to the whole day, you know, what kind of games they played.
And the food they ate, the lunch, whether they finished it or not.
Yeah, so those, I think those are actually good. And obviously we do have like special requests, which we ask our childminder to provide as well, like in terms of like helping with potty training as well. So
yes.
You know, I mean, for every child is different, and like as a father myself, you don't get a manual to say at age blah 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 that you need to start training them. Potty training. It's like you just have to adopt and like obviously see how your child is behaving towards that. And so I mean, she's very helpful in that aspect, you know.
And also to add on to that, also getting those daily updates. It's not like, oh, we're just going to get them that. It also helps us to keep up with the child's development as well and see what else we can continue to do at home in addition to what they're doing already with the childminder. So I think it's also good for us to just keep up to date with it and help us to, what do we do next to continue to help them developing?
Yeah, no, that's very true. I mean, to me, this podcast series, obviously, I'm very passionate about children and like all this like fatherhood. So it's like for us just trying to share information with the entrepreneurial parents as well, like who are in the similar situations. So coming to a close now, what are your closing remarks on like childminder versus nursery kind of topic?
So my closing remarks in addition to that, it's just more so it's down to personal preference. You have to look at your own situation and see what works best for you. Because for us, it was like we'd like a small setting, we'd like our children to socialize, still get that personalized attention. So hence why we went the childminder route, because they were ticking all those boxes, and also the convenience and the location as well. So she's like, our childminder is like 5-10 just under 10 minutes away from us. So although she does pick up and drop offs, we don't need that service from her at the moment, but at least we know we've got that option it's available if we ever needed it. Yes.
Yeah. You know, before I say my personal preferences, another topic which I thought maybe obviously as the kids, as Nia and Unati grow up, so we might need to do this podcast series again when we're now comparing like in terms of primary schools, which we ended up deciding, because we are looking at like various primary schools, like
that's true.
Whether it's going to be an independent primary school or a state school or a Catholic primary school. So it's another topic which I know a lot of parents will be like interested in knowing about this.
In that, because that's a big decision, isn't it? Where you take your child to school is also another decision. It's like, I think for me and Owen, it's like there's gonna be so many decisions. So much research you're gonna have to do before coming to the final decision.
Yeah, of course. Everything, you know, whether it's like personal life, business life, you need to research before you think. So my personal preferences when it comes to this is, I think the childminder setting actually works for them. It benefits them, and that for them to get that one-to-one.
It's really crucial at this stage, isn't it?
Yeah, for them to get that one-to-one time, because obviously, when you actually look at the time, like if you take your kid to a childminder for Monday to Friday, they'll end up spending more time with the childminder in terms of like awake time, because obviously yes, at home they come, they do the night routine, they sleep, and you know, but like in terms of daytime, so those things end up influencing your child, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, like we've seen with our kids, because like Nia and Unati have got a Scottish accent now. Like,
is it even Scottish? I feel like it sounds like a Birmingham accent right now.
For me,
but they were born in Scotland, which I don't understand.
But spend time at the childminder, so it's like it's not a bad thing, but it's like you can tell like, oh, like environment, like that's how important the environment is. That's how kids pick up these, you know. They can like, they'll be like, oh, our friends, this, you know.
Yeah, and they can tell you the good thing about that as well, like the individualized side of things. It's so amazing to see how they come back home and tell us, oh, my friend is this, my friends are that. So again, at nursery, probably they would get that, I don't know, but it's just like the fact that they remember all their names, all the people they play with, is like really interesting to hear from them.
Yeah. So for me, my thoughts, my closing remarks well, we chose childminder, and I prefer that as well compared to nurseries, because I feel like nurseries is more like transactional, you know. It's like it's business.
It's business.
B2B, business to business.
Not B2C, business to consumer.
Yeah, so I mean, so I think we can close this chapter now, and I hope you enjoyed this podcast. So we share these topics like business topics, and obviously our personal lives topics, what we're going through, what our thoughts are, just to keep the discussions going. If you want to us to talk about different topics, please comment below at the bottom of this video, and we will choose that topic and we'll talk about it. So like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.